Hey, 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 welcome into another episode of Halos in the Infield podcast with your first host, Todd Fox, along with
What is up, you pieces of trash? It's Courtney.
she's back.
Yeah, right. We haven't heard that in a long time. And Viva Los Angelitos. This is Fernando Mendez.
Oh yeah, Fernando breaking the news. Fernando, he's our boots on the ground.
I don't know. I feel like that might be like low key copyrighted.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Breaking news. What am I breaking?
Well, you broke the signing the other day of our boy Noah Syndergaard, Thor, and then we broke the you broke the Ohtani today, MVP. We're gonna talk a lot about that on the show today. So, Fernando, you want to get started?
Well, you know what? Before I get started, I think it's only fair that we give our condolences to Angel's grandma.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's somebody who religiously listens to our show, and we truly appreciate her support. But I think it's only fair that we, take a moment to take a step back and just give her our condolences on behalf of all the Halo fam. We really are sorry for your loss. Your husband was a great man, Dodger grandpa. He was great. He truly was. Every interaction everybody had with him in the Halo family has been very positive. Everyone had great things to say about him. So we really want to give our condolences.
Yes, 43 years of marriage and her best friend. So our hearts are at a loss, and thoughts and prayers to the family for sure.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and talk. I'm trying to get this one of our posts up here. So let's talk right into it. Let's go right in. So Noah Syndergaard is a member of our Los Angeles Angels, and something that I found very interesting. Noah Syndergaard is the highest paid Angels pitcher in a single season ever. No Angels pitcher has ever received more than $20 million. Not C.J. Wilson, not Jared Weaver. Noah Syndergaard is the guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, I think it makes sense. I will get into some what people think about it and everything, because there's been, you're either on one side or the other, but I think he's worth it, in my opinion. We've seen other pitchers come through here that could have gotten more money. Weaver turned down actually more money, which pissed off Boris, which he's in my Hall of Fame just for that. But yeah, he made $82 million, I think, over 5 years when he could have made 22, I think, at the time per year. So he gave us the hometown discount. This is nowhere near a hometown discount for the Angels, but I think this just proves a point that maybe this is going to attract more starting pitching to come here and show that the Angels are finally for real, that they're not searching for a bargain basement, cheap pieces of trash, as Courtney would say.
I don't know. I still feel iffy about this. I don't like the Tommy John. I just don't. I feel like we as a collective whole of Angel fans, we've just had bad experiences with pitchers and Tommy John. It took Ohtani a little while to come back from his, which is respective. I get it. But I just think that 21 mil just kind of hurts. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Like, to me, I feel like 2 years, because that way, if for whatever reason he just shits the bed this first year, at least we kind of give him that second year to hopefully make a comeback. So I don't think I agree with the 1 year per se, but that's just me.
No, I agree. Go ahead, Fernando. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it is a risk by the Angels because it is $21 million. And if he fails, yeah, it's going to look really bad. I think it's going to look bad on him too, because then they're going to be like, well, is this another Matt Harvey? Is this a guy that's trying to start over, but, not there. I think he just has too good of stuff to fall flat on his face. Best case scenario and worst case at the same time is if he balls out and has a Scherzer type season, then you're only going to get him for probably 1 year. He'll be chased by somebody else in the off season, unless you're really willing to unload he's a fan favorite here and you unload the bank, but it's a risk, all around risk. But I tend to lean on the side that it's going to be more productive than non-productive, because it's like what Fernando had brought up when we were talking in another time that, Ohtani pitched a very little last year and like about 2 innings or whatever. And then he came back and had this year. It usually takes another year plus Tommy John. And we're at that other year. So hopefully the sky's the limit.
Give me a second. I'm trying to do a little bit of. All right. So, I mean, the first thing I have to say is the simple fact that, Angels fans are super fickle. All we ever hear is, oh, we never get pitching. Oh, we never get pitching. Oh, the pitchers don't want to come here. We finally have a situation where a star caliber pitcher comes here and we're like, yeah, it's the wrong pitcher. Guys, I mean, Noah Syndergaard is one of the biggest names that was available this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, either way, we were going to get excited about some form of damaged goods coming here, right? Okay, we get Justin Verlander, same thing, Tommy John surgery. Will we get Max Scherzer? Well, the guy's 38 years old, and, his arm was sore, so he couldn't pitch in the playoffs. Everyone's going to come up with all these excuses. I mean, the only guy who's not damaged goods, we could have gotten Marcus Stroman, Robbie Ray. Besides that, all these other guys were, quote unquote, damaged goods. May I not remind you guys, Shohei Ohtani also had Tommy John surgery 2 years ago. Noah Syndergaard's in the same boat now, where he's had some time to recover from the Tommy John surgery. And maybe I'm naive, but I want to give Perry Minasian a little bit of credit. I think he's probably dotted his I's and crossed his T's on this. He's probably talked to Thor's agent and, probably has conclusive evidence that, he's probably going to pitch this year, or we wouldn't be giving him $21 million. Guys, we have the potential to sign one of the best available free agents for $21 million. And, it's a good thing we signed him when we did, because Justin Verlander, who's even older and just as broken as Noah Syndergaard, signed for $25 million. You mean to tell me that Justin Verlander today is worth $4 million more than Noah Syndergaard, who's 8 years younger, 10 years younger?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we can't get complacent. We got a big name pitcher. This isn't Matt Harvey. This isn't Trevor Cahill. Is there an injury risk? Yes, but free agency is like going to the casino. Sometimes you're going to strike a rich, and in the Angels case, most of the time you don't. But you know what? Us as Angels fans haven't learned our lesson yet, clearly, because all of us keep having the mentality of we need to sign this guy. We need to sign this guy, which is fine. But guys, how about for once we start learning as a collective community and think to ourselves, you know what, maybe we should start building internally, which is where we currently are. This team is better built right now than it was 5 years ago. We have Patrick Sandoval. We have Jose Suarez. We have, Griffin Canning. These younger guys who have a chance to do well. That's how you win championships, people. I'll stop myself there because I probably could go for another half hour.
Courtney?
Well, Fernando already said it, built within. So then why did we need Syndergaard? I mean, to be honest, like Ohtani just came off of a unanimous MVP. Congratulations. But, so obviously that's supposed to be our ace caliber. I'm assuming it's because we're going to look at Ohtani now as our ace. So for Syndergaard, again, for me, it's just an injury risk. We've had so many injuries and we don't have a training staff in order to help these athletes even get better. Sandoval,
we have a new trainer.
We have one new trainer. We still need a team.
But it's a head trainer.
A team of trainers. One trainer cannot take care of a 40-man roster.
I agree, but a head trainer can change a mentality and change a culture. I mean, you work in the school district. So sometimes, if you get a new teacher, yeah, that's not going to do too much. But if you get a new principal, that new principal can make the teachers rise up to the occasion because now there's new methods. Now there's this stuff that I have to teach. Guys, our new head trainer just won a World Series ring as the assistant head trainer.
Well, at this, before they got this dude from the Atlanta Braves, I forget his name. I would have took Richard Simmons to have these guys sweating to the oldies because anything was better than what we had. Courtney was right. We're getting too many injuries. But right now, like, look, Thor, to me, I would have a differing opinion. I don't think he's injury prone now. He's, obviously we're going to be watching him like a hawk. But 21 million, he's got a lot to prove. Whether he's the ace or he's a number two, I still would like another ace to go along with him. And the good thing is what Fernando said, a lot of us are jaded because it's like, oh, we want this guy, but then we're always let down. And this year you're seeing a tweet that we sent out or that we showed that, he's in on Gray and Castillo, who we were talking about all last year. He's in on Stroman. He's in on Max. Not so much on Verlander, which that came out pretty quick. Like, I'm digging the fact that they're pushing these pitchers, but what Courtney said, like the 1-year deals, it makes kind of sense because what I think they want to do is what Fernando said, they want to build from within. It's going to come up at some point, but there's no need to sign these dudes long term if we're building from within. But they have to get these big name guys to make the current team competitive, because you can't go out there with more Cahills when you have Trout, Ohtani, Rendon. You have to put the best pieces around them. And by far, it's been the pitching that's lacking, the reason why these guys can't get in the postseason. So this year, I mean, look, if Perry steps up and gets us to the postseason in any form, it's a rising success. Just gets the goddamn tournament. And I think he's putting together something special. And I don't think they're anywhere close to being done. I think there's a lot more moves to be coming.
I obviously we're gonna have a brand new bullpen. We know that. We have to, one way or the other. You know what I mean? Because the bullpen's almost completely wiped out clean. As of right now, Raisel Iglesias is not an angel. Austin Warren, I think, is one of the only guys who's probably a surefire to come back in. Yep. Assuming nothing changes. He could get traded. He could very well be a trade piece. I'm sure people would be interested in him, but he's going to be young and cheap, so I wouldn't trade him. But Perry's got a lot of moves to still make. We signed a pitcher, great, but I don't know. I mean, let's real quick look at some of these Noah Syndergaard numbers. So he's got a career 15.9 WAR. So we'll round that up to 16, right? 47 wins, 31 losses with a 3.32 ERA. When was the last time an Angels pitcher had a career 3.32 ERA?
Chuck Finley.
And okay, exactly. And you're just named the best pitcher in Angels franchise history in terms of wins.
Yep.
Chuck Finley. Noah Syndergaard, everyone's going to be like, well, Tommy John surgery. Guys, he had Tommy John surgery of March of 2020. It's going to be 2 years by the time spring training hits that Tommy John surgery took place. That's got to be somewhat good news. It's not like this guy just had Tommy John surgery 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's not a Clevenger situation in San Diego. He's coming off of that.
Exactly. Okay, so 2015, 9 wins, 7 losses, 3.24 ERA. The Mets made it to the World Series that year. 2016, 14-9 with a 2.60 ERA. In 17, 1-2 with a 2.97 ERA. That was his only other season in his career besides last year where he pitched less than 150 innings. Let me repeat that for the kids in the back row. Guys, only 2 times in Noah Syndergaard's career has he not pitched more than 150 innings. The last time you can say that about the Angels, 2018. Who was that? Home Run Heaney. Yeah. Home Run Heaney was the last Angel to pitch 150 innings. Okay, so 2018, he was 13-4 with a 3.03 ERA, and in 2019, he was 10-8 with a 4.28 ERA. That was, by the way, his only season with over a 3.25 ERA.
And real quick, in those seasons, he finished with the wins of, 10, 13, and 14, I believe. I don't know if you have in front of you the amount of no decisions he had or games started. Because he started all like 30 or more, I think, all year or for those seasons. It's the Mets offense was so poor in those years. Yeah. The run support wasn't good. So he's winning a lot of 1-run games, basically.
So follow me on this. So I'm going to start in 2015 and work my way down. So games started 24, 37, 25, 32. And then last year was when he only had 2.
Yeah, we haven't had a starter I think only one in the last 3 years go 20 starts. So,
I think it's been a while since we've had a pitcher get 100 innings.
yeah. We haven't had.
I mean, I think, was it 2019 when the only pitcher to throw over 100 innings was, I think, Trevor Cahill?
Yeah. That was
So, guys, it's been a long time. So I don't understand what the anger is about. You know, I can almost promise you that this won't be the only move we make. Is it the biggest starting pitching move we make? Perhaps. But a healthy Noah Syndergaard is one of the best pitchers in baseball, and we've seen it. This isn't a guy who had a fluke year. And everyone wants us to get Robbie Ray or Marcus Stroman. I'm a fan of both of those guys, and I'd be thrilled if we got both of those guys. But let's admit it, both of those pitchers have had fluke seasons. Marcus Stroman is a great pitcher, and he brings a mad dog mentality that we don't have here in Anaheim. Well, now we do with Syndergaard. But he's had 1-2 good years. He wasn't that great with the Blue Jays. Robbie Ray wasn't that great with the Diamondbacks. So what exactly are we hoping for here, guys?
Give me some Mad
He has
Max.
to prove it.
Okay, sorry.
He has to prove it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of being the team that they either people send to us or they, or we overspend on a 1-year deal and then somebody ends up shitting the bed. And of course, I don't want that to be the case with Thor. Of course, nobody wants to say that, but I'm sorry. I'm just getting flashbacks of everything where a star pitcher comes to us and all of a sudden we just forget how to play baseball or they forget how to throw a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
We are an island of misfit toys. Like, it seems like whenever someone comes to us, it's not, MVP mentality, Cy Young mentality. It's not any of this type of mentality. It's like we're a project because we haven't been in the playoffs for so long. The last player that we all anticipated on getting us out of this drought was Pujols that we clearly overspent on.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He boosted up his own individual stats. We had his stupid home run numbers out in center field as if it meant anything to us. And we never made a postseason. Or, excuse me, sorry.
We made one.
2014.
Mhm.
Sorry. But, I mean, one, and we had him for, 10 years? A million, it felt like? No, I'm sorry. The Thor signing is fine. Just make it 2 years. That way, at least if he shits the bed, then fine. He can try to restart himself the next year.
I mean, it's a prove-it deal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Thor is one of the best pitchers in baseball when he's healthy. There's no denying that. Nobody can deny that. But let me ask you both this. When was realistically the last time that we had a good pitcher pick us over over other teams, let alone for less money? Word on the road is that he got 2 offers that were $21 million and one that was $25 million. So why us?
I think
And when?
I think he sees a potential in the lineup itself. He's the culture change. I think we can all agree Epler was a puppet, and good luck, New York. Like you get him, and then I don't see how that's going to change your fortunes over there. And they got an even more meddling owner than we do, in Cohen. I like the pickup. I really do, because maybe, just maybe, if the culture's good in the clubhouse and he fits in, he's that leader 3/4 of the way through the season, and he's sporting 14, 15 wins going into freaking August or September. And we're all sitting here like, this guy's paying off. Maybe Perry comes down to him in the clubhouse and says, hey, would you like to renegotiate? Would you like to get a contract extension? 2-3 years, this, and that. That could be a deal that makes sense to him. If we're lending the olive branch, like, hey, we put faith in you. We think you can help us win. Maybe he pays us back by saying, hey, you know what? You were loyal to me. I'll be loyal to you. I don't know.
What was the question again?
When was the last time that, a pitcher got offered multiple offers and he picked the Angels, let alone for less money?
I mean, who wouldn't want to play with our star-studded, torn vagina roster of Rendon and Trout and everybody else that just got hurt? I mean, who else would, honestly, who in their right mind wouldn't want to say, oh my God, I played with Trout, I played in Ohtani, I played with Rendon. Who wouldn't want to say that they played with all those people, whether you won or not? Honestly.
I mean, apparently a lot of people, right?
Apparently, yes. Because it's just like at that point, it's just like, is it worth saying, like, hey, you know what? I was on the same team as Ohtani and he had an MVP season and he did this, this, and this. Hey, I was on the same team as Trout, and he did this, this, and this. So at this point, it's just like, is he really coming to us to actually help us and improve to make it to the postseason? Like, is it really that big of a goal? Or maybe is he looking at it as, you know what? This is a team that doesn't have pitching. This is a team that is building. You know what? Maybe I can build too. Or maybe, you know what? If I don't do well, at least this team might not care.
I think it's the latter. I think you're right. The latter.
Like as crappy as it is to say, I don't like saying that. Like, I know I'm aggressive and everything. I don't like saying that we're a project team. It sucks. It sucks that people have viewed us like that for so long. Like, oh, you're trying to get rid of somebody? Send them to the Angels. Oh, you want somebody to overspend on you? Hey, go to the Angels. They'll throw you anything. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like we're the stripper of baseball. Like, just everybody looks at us. It's just like we can't do anything. We literally just can't do anything. And we have this star-studded power. And I remember all of us saying it at the beginning of 2021. Oh, we have Trout in the lineup. We have a healthy Ohtani. We have, even people were saying, we have Upton in the lineup. We have Rendon. Those four alone, we're just like, we're going to get somewhere, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do it. And look what happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just like, to me, like I said, I hope Thor isn't looking at us like a project, like, oh, you know what? Maybe if I don't do well, they're not going to be as mad at me, or these fans aren't going to like me. I'm hoping he performs well. I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but I just can't help but feel like it should have been 2 years. It should have been 2 years to at least get some type of money's worth. Because even then, if we are going to try to develop from inside, from within, we threw out our guys, Detmers, Packy, we threw all of our young guys out there and they looked like a deer in headlights. Don't get me wrong. They held their own because they had to, but that wasn't right of us to do, and sometimes that could be scarring to a pitcher. It could be scarring to a player in general, let alone a pitcher. Because I know pitching is half mentality, probably 75% mentality in the first place, rather than ability. So if we need to build within, then we need to keep building within, let our guys develop in AAA, because it's going to take a while, and let Thor have his 2 years.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's pitching for if he wants to be selfish, I say go for it. Pitch your ass off, pitch every game like it's a postseason game, get us W's. Because I think that's the only way this relationship's going to work. If he's out there, like you said, like not caring or just saying, I got 21 million, I don't think it's beneficial in the end anyway. I think he's building for he's at that age where this is probably the last big contract he's probably going to get if he balls out. We're talking if he balls out, some team next year, could be the Angels, could be another team, could throw him $6 million or 6 years, $200 million. If he has like a 19 game winning streak or 19 game wins for the Angels. They could throw him a buttload of money. We don't know. So,
yeah, I mean, I think we finally, for the first time, have hit a situation where the three of us don't agree. Normally, we all agree on the same thing, and that's fine. You know what? Because that's what makes a show better. But realistically, the way I see it is that the Angels, at some point in time, we're going to finally get a pitcher. And 2 or 3 days ago was that day. Mm-hmm. We woke up in the morning and there was the news. You know what? The Angels got a pitcher. And exactly like you'd expect, the franchise, the fan base completely split down the middle. People were like, hell yeah, we got a pitcher. And the other people were like, well, I didn't want that pitcher. So the way I see it, you know what, man? We've got a big name pitcher. Somebody finally wanted to come here And I'm actually kind of excited that it's Noah Syndergaard because he comes in with a chip on his shoulder. Why? Because he's going to have the mentality that everyone in that Angels locker room should have. And Courtney's right. You know what? We've had a loser mentality for too long. We've had the loser mentality for too long. Right now, I'm liking everything I'm seeing out of Perry Manassian. You know what? He got us a new head trainer like we needed. He dumped Albert Pujols last year like we needed. He signed a big name pitcher, one of the biggest names available this year, like we needed. This offseason is far from over, but so far, it's at least started off the way we would have liked. The only thing missing was for Paul Sereno and Jeremy Reed to get fired. Those were the only things missing. We'd all kind of agree, like, we don't love Matt Wise, but if he stuck around, we'd be like, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I've gotten almost everything I've requested up to this point. But we'll see what ends up happening near the end.
I agree. He's definitely given you a different outlook on the offseason. Like if this were last year, I'd be like, just wake me if they do anything. This season appears to be very different. There's no like last year. If say for instance, the Angels signed a pitcher, it took even a risk on any other kind of pitcher, threw money around. I'd be like, okay, they're done. That's their one move. And then you watch them get your Baker Mayfield, Mayfield's, your what do you call it, your Suzuki's and Lagares's. Watch that come to fruition. This year, I don't see that, man. I see a solid roster come spring training of some guys we don't even know they're going to get yet, and that's what's so exciting. Because I'm with Courtney on that too, is that we've been so jaded as a fan base. And you're right, Fernando. It's been split for a long time. We can't get out of our own way. Like some of us can't even be excited that we got a pitcher because we're so like, okay, well, when's he going to break down? When's he going to like screw us over? When are we going to trade him? Or he's not going to re-sign? We always look negative. So it's gonna take us making the postseason, I believe, for us to head into next season like, all right, let's do this. We already made the postseason. It's positive time. We know we could do it. Let's add more pieces to go further. So, yeah.
Nothing to add, Courtney?
No.
Okay. Anything else about Noah Syndergaard before we wrap up? I think we've kind of made our viewpoints known.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess the last big topic for this episode, we have another MVP donning a halo, and that is from Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is your 2021 American League MVP. At the day of this recording, the announcement was made. Were you guys nervous at all? I was a little nervous, if I'm being honest. Like when I tuned in, I started to be like, man, the way they were talking about everyone else, I was like, man, I don't know.
You want to go ahead, Courtney?
I don't know. I didn't even watch it. I'm a bad fan, but I didn't even watch it. I was just waiting for the news to come in. I don't know. I was a little nervous because I was like, this is because I just keep thinking of how he ended. It wasn't the greatest end, he kind of tanked a little bit. His batting wasn't as hot as it was. So I was just like, man, and a lot of people just kind of remember the end. They don't remember the beginning, they don't remember the middle, they just remember the end. So I was just like, it's gonna be a close for some reason. I was just like, this might be closer than we want. But it's good. I'm glad that he won it. Especially unanimously. Like that's obviously great. So I think as a fan base as a whole, we just need to be proud of that.
Yeah, I think it. If he didn't pitch, I think Vlad would have stole it. Vlad got his team to the postseason.
He did not.
Oh, he did not. Yeah, that's right. They fell a game short, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they fell a game, but he had him in the pennant race, is what I'm saying. He had him right there. And he was just electrifying down the stretch, whereas Courtney said and alluded to, Ohtani was shitting the bed down the stretch. Sereno and Reed, as you alluded to earlier, Fernando, are garbage. They didn't help him out. He could have hit 60 home runs easy. And he probably, with some offense, he could have won 13 or 14 games. So let's just keep that in mind. And I think that's what they did in the long run, the voters. And they were like, this guy put up monster numbers, but what if? You know what I mean? So That's what I'm thinking for next season. I'm thinking he if he stays healthy, he's going to win it again. I think he's going to put up home run numbers again. But with the Angels lineup being healthy around him, if he's not the ace and he could take the pressure off and be a 2 or a 3, I think he's going to win those like 15 games. He's going to hit those 60 home runs. We're going to see an incredible season. My only question to you guys is how many bobbleheads are they going to make out of this guy this year?
A lot. I'm hoping they have at least a Noah Syndergaard bobblehead.
Yeah.
Like, it's a slam dunk. It's a Thor bobblehead.
With the actual
and one thing I will say, yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to say is we know that Todd didn't expect Ohtani to win the MVP. And you know how I know that? Because a certain other page that you were on likes to plug an episode, one of the last episodes you ever did, where you were like, really, Ohtani winning the MVP? Because somebody else made like a lukewarm take, that everybody else made. I mean, you can go on Twitter, you'll see a ton of, if Ohtani's healthy. I mean, CC Sabathia called that if Ohtani's healthy, he's going to win the MVP. It wasn't a hot take back then. Trust me. But, hey.
No comment.
Whatever. But hey, whatever. Hey, real quick, though. You want a hot take? Billy Epler is going to be a good general manager for the Mets.
Oh, good.
That's my hot take.
Wow.
That's a hot take. Because you know what? Cohen might be a little extra, but I think that Cohen's going to keep his fingers off the trigger, unlike Artie, that was like pushing the impulse trigger the whole time. I mean, Billy Epler was able to rebuild one of the worst farm systems of all time, at least make them respectable.
That's true.
So if he was able to do that, anything's possible.
But he's got to clean up that. He's got to clean up that mess in New York, though, man. That's a mess.
Oh yeah, but I mean, the Mets are the East Coast Angels.
Oh, jeez.
What are you talking about? New York people in general are ruthless. Like, you seen how
Courtney, I was in New York yesterday. I know, dude. The whole city is just fucking sick. Like, I'm walking around and I'm like, yeah, everyone's like, New York's so pretty, and I'm like, what are you looking at? Were you watching a movie? Because I mean, New York's disgusting. Rats everywhere, trash everywhere.
Real quick, we do have some New York listeners, so we love the East Coast, especially in fall. The trees are beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny how you say that when you don't come to the East Coast. I come here every single month. I'm in New Jersey right now. Step outside, the place smells like trash.
Trash?
Trash.
Did someone say trash?
Did someone say trash?
Hey, I badmouth Virginia every single month, and if Nats fan can deal with it and still be a fan, you guys can too. New York sucks.
All right.
All right. Well.
Anti-East Coast. But look, I'm happy Ohtani got it. I think the next level again is, I think we all can agree, get this team in the postseason. This team is the most watched team in Japan, in most Asian countries that follow Ohtani. He's a huge mega superstar over there, and he's a superstar here, and he is the face of baseball. I don't care what.
But he doesn't speak English.
It doesn't matter. Oh, Stephen A. Smith doesn't speak English himself. He just likes to yell.
Yeah,
yeah. I think in the long run, getting him to the postseason is the most critical thing we could do, even more than Trout, because this guy will be recognized with a winner, and you get him in the postseason. Unlike what the Mariners were able to do with Ichiro, they weren't able to exploit him. Although the Mariners with Ichiro were able to attract a couple other Asian players and a couple other players from other countries to come there. So that's my whole thing is if you get Ohtani in the postseason, you're going to get these players that instead of signing with New York, Boston, and the big names, the Dodgers, they might take a flyer on the Angels like so did Ohtani. And they might want to play with Ohtani. They might want to play with Trout and hopefully fixed Vagina Rendon. And you could have something. I'm just saying, we could have more international flavor.
A little spice in
Exactly. Just sprinkle it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I legitimately do believe that the Angels are closer today to contention than they have been the last 5 years. You know what? They have the young talent that has potential to break out, and we saw that last year. Mm-hmm. You know, people are going to be like, well, they didn't break out in terms of wins. But, I mean, this is a team sport. This isn't basketball where one player makes a difference. Mm-hmm. You know, this is a legitimate team sport. where, everyone needs to get involved. And, unfortunately, the injuries took a toll last year. So hopefully, so far, the turn that we've started to see Perry make the organization will pay dividends next year. One question I have to you guys, that's kind of the big question mark as of right now. Will Raisel Iglesias be back in some capacity with the Angels next season? Obviously, we know it's not a qualifying offer, so.
I hate to say it, but I think he's leaving. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to say it. It hurts my heart, but I think he might go because, if he really did enjoy it as much as he said, or at least as much as we think that we've seen, I don't know. I don't remember what the first qualifying offer was, what we extended.
$18.4 million.
Heart. Jesus Christ, we're spending this much. We still have Upton on our contract. But I think just for him being a closer, I think that's a pretty decent offer. I feel like he would have taken it if he really wanted to stay that bad. So unless we raise the bar a little bit, I don't know if he wants more years or more money. But I think he might be out.
Well, remember, a qualifying offer is only 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he wants a more stable thing. Maybe he wants 2 or 3 years.
I'm with that because I think he realizes maybe this is the best he could do. And why would you take another risk on yourself signing a 1-year deal? I think he deserves it, in my opinion, a 3 to 4 year contract. I would have to say right now I'm 51% to 49 that he's going to sign. There's a slight chance that I think we pony up and Perry says, you know what? Look at all the other arms that are out there as far as closers. We can go with a retread like Mark Melanson. We can go with another like a Greg Holland type guy, but these are retreads. These are guys that are late 30s. Raciel's in his freaking prime. And we need, we don't exactly have right now with Myers gone, or at least a free agent, what's his name? The other Cishek, who pitched great down the stretch. He's a free agent as well. I mean, obviously you're not gonna back the Brinks truck up to load them and to pay them, but you will for Raciel, because Raciel again pitched us how many times? Six outs. So, and he saved more than half of our wins. So yep. I really think he's priority number one. Like, I was surprised they got Syndergaard first. I would think you'd have to pay Raciel, dude. I think you're looking 4 years, 65, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's going to get about $15 million a year. I mean, he doesn't deserve to get more than Aroldis Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
Aroldis Chapman's the best closer in baseball. But
except when Walsh is hitting bombs off him.
Yes. She remembers. That is our iconic moment of the season. I think so, right there. That was awesome. What a comeback.
Yeah. I mean, Aroldis Chapman is getting paid $18 million this coming year, and he got 15 last year. So I would tell Raisel, you know what, man? You're one of the best closers out there. You're probably a top 3 and if not top 5 closer in baseball. So Aroldis is getting 18 this year. I'll give you 15. And I would try to find a way to make it, 3 years, $45 million. If you can, maybe backload it. Mm-hmm. That way, in case you can't get rid of the Upton contract this year, it won't hurt you as much this year. Second year, maybe a little higher. And then third year is when I'll give him the max that he was going to get.
Okay. All right, sounds about right.
That's what I do.
I like Raciel a lot. He came with a different sidearm with certain pitches, but same velocity. He came fastball. I mean, the guy. It was so weird and so frustrating at the same time to see his mentality change when it was a closing situation. When it was a closing situation, the guy was nails. And when it was a tie ball game or the Angels were down 1, he looked so lazy out there. He didn't have that focus of, oh, okay, I'm going to strike you out on 3 pitches. He came out there like, let me fool with this guy a little bit. Let me try to throw something inside. Like, he looked like he was overthinking. And we were yelling at Madden all year, like, don't put him in those goddamn situations. It's just, imagine if he didn't put him in those situations, what his ERA probably would look like. at the end of the season, we'd have to pay him more money. So maybe Madden did it for that reason, but he's got to be a keeper in my mind. I'd be very disappointed if we don't get him.
I'm not going to be like completely heartbroken. I really like Rysel. I mean, like I told you guys many times, my godfather's Reds fan. So I grew up watching Rysel Iglesias over the last couple of years. So, there is other options at closer, but I do think Rysel is the best option available. Mm-hmm. But once again, I mean, this hypothetical situation right now, the Angels only have about $61 million more to spend, and that's not including, these guys whose contracts are up for renewal and arbitration. So realistically, as of right now, we're probably sitting closer to $50 million. Rysel at 15 takes a chunk out of that.
That still leaves you plenty to get a starter, though, especially if you don't have to pay him upfront $25 million. If you sign him long term, if he's like maybe you backload it, like you said, maybe you don't have to do it all up front. We'll see.
I'm telling you guys, I'm just going to throw this out there because I'm sure this is a whole episode in itself. Try to convince the Cubs, who are rebuilding right now, to take Justin Upton, give him Griffin Canning, hell, give him Jaime Barria. In exchange, you give me Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks, I understand his velocity is down, but overall, except for last year, he's had a great ERA his entire career. And the best part, he's most of the time healthy. I don't think he's ever missed more than like a handful of starts ever.
Yeah, he was on Philly forever, right?
I want Lance Lynn.
Yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah, but he's also going to – I would too, but he's going to demand a lot of money.
And he deserves every penny. I'm just kidding.
Well, and that's fine. He does, but, Kyle Hendricks' career 3.36 ERA.
Yeah, you can't beat that. What about Charlie Morton? Is he a free agent, or you think he's going to stay on the East Coast?
I don't think he's a free agent, but let me check.
Because that was a guy that I wanted last year, but I heard he liked the East Coast, and he was that's why he was on Tampa. He was on Atlanta.
He is a free agent. He got $15 million last year.
He's a good, solid pitcher, dude. Like, he's a winner. I would take him. Like, give him a 2-3 year.
We're missing two things. We're still missing a shortstop or utility and a catcher.
Yeah. We definitely need a catcher that's gonna complement Stassi instead of throwing the ball in the center field. And we need a shortstop that can, with a little bit of pop, but I'm more concerned, like Fernando says, on base percentage and working counts. Because dream scenario is make Fletcher our DiSarcina and put him at number 9. I don't like him anywhere close to the top. I think he puts too much pressure on himself.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think when we were having a conversation individually on our group chat, Andrew brought up the Angels should get Eduardo Escobar, and I really, really like that take. Get Chris Taylor. If you can't get Chris Taylor, Eduardo Escobar.
How much would he command? What were his numbers compared to Taylor and the other shortstops? Do you have that?
Yeah, if you guys can talk amongst yourself for like a second.
Okay.
Like a teacher.
Are you going to add more banners back there, Courtney, by the way?
Actually, my mom got me a Braves World Series banner. I'm actually really excited. It comes in 2 weeks.
Is that the Troll Dodger fans, or is that just because you like the Braves?
I actually do like the Braves.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
No, I actually am a Braves fan. Like, I was hurt with Acuna. Like, when he got hurt, I was like, man, that poor kid.
I'm still happy
replaying it. I'm like, oh, don't do that. It hurts my knee. Like,
it's the good thing is, they all get rings, and so and they played a hell of a season. Wow, what underdogs to win it. So I'm happy for them too. My thing is, you get the Atlanta Braves banner. I want someone to get me the damn tomahawk chop thing. I've always wanted one of those. They're cool.
Oh, and then I'm going to Disneyland on Saturday, so I'm probably going to get something more Disney in the corner.
Okay, that's cool. Like a Donald Duck or like a Goofy. Like, who's your character?
My favorite character is Daisy. And then my favorite princess is Princess Tiana from Princess and the Frog, because she's black.
She says it with authority, because she's black.
It's because she's black. And somebody's going to flag our video. Like, right. These degenerates are not.
It was okay for her to say it, though, by the way.
I'm half
Yeah,
black,
she can say
guys,
that
I
I can't.
promise.
All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are done. with the
we were
banter.
just talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you
right.
said.
That's fair. Okay, so Eduardo Escobar
Hmm.
last season, let's see, so he made $7.5 million,
Okay.
and last year had a WAR of 2.4, 139 hits, bless you, batted 253, and he hit 28 home runs.
Oh wow. Okay, the 253 I'm not too thrilled about, but the home runs kind of make up for it.
Yeah, he can play almost every infield position.
Oh, see, I didn't even know about that guy. That
Chris Taylor, we
Who
know
was
he
he
plays
at?
literally every position.
Or
Was that
where did he play? Escobar.
Milwaukee?
All right.
okay.
So yeah, and now Chris Taylor last season made $7.8 million, but he declined his qualifying offer of $18.4 million. So not only will you lose a draft pick, but he's probably going to expect more than that, or at least something comparable if you break that down a couple of years. And last year, aside from doing really well in the postseason, which I mean he did. Oh, I realized, dumb me, I put Spot Trek on twice.
Yeah, that dude can, like I mentioned the other show, he had a 17 pitch at bat or whatever. Was that in the postseason or something like that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, so 2.6 WAR, 129 hits, 254 batting average, and 20 home runs.
But see, that's what makes me leery about him. That's the first time in his career he's hit 20 homers, and he's had that type of season. His average was actually down. He did strike out a lot this year compared to other seasons where he was more about.
He hit 21 home runs in 2017, and he hit 17 in 2018.
Okay, then I'm wrong. Thank you. He's all F you, Todd. I got the numbers right here.
Shut the fuck up, Todd.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Oh, and by the way, in 8 years, he has a career 3.370 on base percentage.
Yeah, see, well, that's what you like. Because he'll
Exactly.
walk, but he did strike. I do know he struck out the most in his career this year. So,
but you know what? The Angels need to look for guys like that, guys who aren't going to break the bank. Let everyone else make the mistake. Let everyone else be disappointed by Trevor Story, Carlos Correa, Corey Seager. Insert name here. The Angels fans are like, "Oh, we wasted money in Noah Syndergaard." Yet those are the same fans. Like they need to get Carlos Correa. They need to get blah blah blah. They need to get Corey Seager. Oh, guys, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I don't want to touch Seager at all. I wouldn't want Correa. I would love Simeon, but that fool's going to command too much money. So I think what you're talking about sounds more realistic.
We don't need to fix our position players. We don't. We need to fix our pitching.
Yeah, it's more complimentary, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly feel like the Angels just need to trot out an average shortstop who's not going to hurt the team, and boom, you did your job.
Yeah.
Because last year we expected a lot out of Jose Iglesias. I would much rather them spend the money on pitching than the shortstop.
I agree. And feelings real quick on Cobb. You like him coming back?
Yeah. Of course I do.
If we can get someone like, to compliment him, like I told you, if we can get Kyle Hendricks and Alex Cobb just kind of a sprinkle on top, great. I mean, there's a lot of projections saying that he's going to get like $6 to $10 million a year. So, if we can get him close to 6, I would do 2 years, $12 million.
Sounds about right.
Fair. That's fair.
I like what he did in the clubhouse, and I like what he did as a leader on the rotation. I think he taught some of those kids something, and he did some good stuff. He wants to come back. He's expressed it, but I think he's a veteran that knows that the Angels have priorities before they get to him. So hopefully another team doesn't have him on their priority list, and he's still around about a month from now, and the Angels can be like, hey, $6 million per year, 2 years, sound good? Okay. Maybe. Perry's voice just keeps getting, squeakier and squeakier.
Yeah, right. Like Mickey Mouse by the end of this season, by the end of this offseason.
Yeah, right. Hey, real quick, Todd, I gotta ask.
Mhm.
You know what? We'll say that to the end. I was going to ask how Roger Lodge reacted to Ohtani getting his MVP, but we'll close the show like that. How about that?
Oh, good God.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. That reminds me of what I'm going to post later. And since this will be out after I post it, I think I might save it for tonight or tomorrow, if you don't mind. Unless you got something else to post. But Randy from South Park, I think I'm going to put Roger Lodge's face on him where he has the jizz all over the computer. Yeah, I think that's going to be the reaction. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
All right. Is this a wrap, this episode?
I think there's no other way to end it after that was said. So
Yes.
That's fair.
Usually when you finish, there is something to do with jizz. So that's sorry.
I see what you did there.
Good night, everybody. No.
I'm just kidding.
Make sure to check out our sponsors, Chinook Seeds. Chinook Seeds. Go on our website, click on the banner. We love you, Chinook.
Oh no.
And so does what's his name? Randy from South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all oh!
He's releasing his seed, and so is Chinook. There you go.
There you go. Maybe that's what Chinook means by hashtag best seeds ever.
There you go. Homegrown.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, with that being said, Todd,
Yes.
what did Shohei Ohtani say earlier when the MVP was announced? Okay, so I'll pretend maybe I'm like,
Roger Lodge? Oh.
Yeah, Todd Lodge. Did you hear that Shohei Ohtani won the 2021 AL MVP award?
He what? He what now? He won the MVP? I've been telling you this all season, guys. That one Shohei Ohtani from Japan, the supreme leader of the Angels, was going to be the MVP. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Shohei, I want to play with that bobblehead. Back to you, James.
Well, this has been Halos in the Infield. Thank you guys so much. Check out our merchandise on Redbubble and make sure to check out Chinook Seeds. Hashtag best seeds ever. Viva Los Angelitos and Viva Shohei Ohtani. We'll see you guys next time.
See.